higher, baby. Higher, baby. Get higher, baby.
And don't never come down, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of Uncanny Treks. I am Bob in Cascadia. That is Matt in the Southland, gathered here today to have a very important conversation with Matt about his drug habits. And
my lack of drug habits? I don't have any drug habits.
Through this intervention, we're framing it as a discussion of the movie Cocaine Bear. Matt, how the hell are you and that monkey on your back doing?
I'm doing fine, Bob. So this morning, Bob, my wife made me coffee, and I never drink coffee, okay, ever. Mm-hmm. Like she got an espresso machine. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but anyway, apparently you can make really good coffee. And I don't know, she said 3 shots. Is that a lot?
That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot.
God, she's so bad about that. Like she'll put like too much of something in there. And now I'm just like wired and like ready to like talk about cocaine bears.
One shot is one shot is normal. 2 shots if you need to pick me up, and 3 shots if you've developed an astounding tolerance.
Holy shit. I need to get onto her so bad. She does that. She likes to push it to like the extreme limit, like real fast. She doesn't slowly like, increase. Like I probably should only have been on 1 shot, for about a year.
Yeah.
Now I'm just starting on 3 shots and I'm like ready to like break the wall down. Anyway, it's good stuff though. If you
did she just make you an Americano?
No, it's got like caramel and shit. She makes the good stuff, like Starbucks level shit.
Okay.
That's why we got it for her, because she was spending so much at the Starbucks. I'm like, just make your own damn coffee. But not really. No, it wasn't really like that. I just got it because she
Matt, that's like, I need more money for my bears. I mean, my cocaine bears.
I need more for my anyway, they
I will say on a note of sympathy, my budget got noticeably bigger when the beloved cafe near my apartment closed down, and I stopped going there almost every day for coffee, and I just bought a coffee maker.
Yeah. But I talk like that, like I told Heather, like shit, I keep saying that. I talk like that, like I needed my wife not to go buy coffee anymore. But in the honest truth, she wanted an espresso machine. I got it for her, and then she's like, "Oh, I love this. I won't have to go to Starbucks anymore." But she still goes to Starbucks like once a week. So there's that.
Hey, once a week's better than 6 times a week.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. But the coffee's really good though that she makes with it, and I mean it's
nice.
But yeah. So if I sound a little more perkier than I usually am, Bob, that's what it is.
That is what it is. All right. So Matt, we are talking Cocaine Bear, the cinematic masterpiece that is now streaming on Peacock. What were your thoughts when I first suggested Cocaine Bear?
So before you suggested us watching this film, I saw some of the trailers and the advertisements for it on, because we have Peacock, and I love wrestling, Bob, and that's the real reason to subscribe to the Peacock streaming service.
That's why the other friend I freeload off of for Peacock has it.
So Peacock is smart in doing that. Like, they are brilliant. Whoever made that decision, they just made NBC and its affiliates tons of money. But anyway,
Peacock does it for wrestling and Paramount Plus for Star Trek.
they know and they've hit both of us with that market. Well, they hit me at least with both of those markets. So I saw the trailer and I thought, this is the most insane thing I've ever seen. And then I saw that it was based on true events.
Yeah,
what?
Loosely.
Apparently a bear really got a hold of some cocaine, Bob. And
yeah, in the Georgia woods.
Yes, the Georgia woods, which is where we originated from.
Yeah,
which where I currently live.
We crawled out of the Georgia woods.
Yeah, I'm about 60 miles away right now from the Chattahoochee Forest where this took place.
So I don't know if this is covered in the documentary. I've never seen the documentary, but do you know the alleged fate of the Cocaine Bear?
No, Bob.
Allegedly, the Cocaine Bear was killed and taxidermied, and Waylon Jennings had the taxidermy of the Cocaine Bear.
Oh, shoot. Wow. Yeah, that's a really cool. Like I'm usually not into that kind of stuff, but that would be a really cool display. Like I'm not someone who really cares for taxidermy, but there's a story behind that one at least, other than I just shot the animal.
Oh, when my beloved cat goes, I'm totally getting her taxidermy.
Oh, we had my wife's cat cremated, which is equally strange, but still, yeah. I mean, I guess it's understandable.
there's actually I have a dream of another friend of mine has a pit bull, and the dream is that when I die, the cat die, and the pit bull dies, all three of us will get taxidermied, and then we'll set up a scene in my friend's the closet of my friend's apartment where the pit bull has the cat in her mouth, and I'm yelling at the pit bull.
You want like a diorama to like leave up in your like as a memorial. Like,
yeah.
What a weird ass way to have you memorialized, and not a statue. You want the taxidermy parts.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't think that's happening, Bob. Sorry, but it's good to dream.
No, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Okay.
It's excited.
Better write that in a will somewhere and put some money aside. I don't know how to I don't even know how much a taxidermy. Is that the same as mummification? I mean, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? Same idea.
No, well,
you would be wrapped.
I mean, I think it's like just emptying you out. I guess like
preserving the skin somehow on okay. Anyway, Bob, let's get into this film.
If they can do it to a cocaine bear, Matt, they can do it to me.
They can do it to a not cocaine bear. Yeah, I guess they could. All right. Anyway, back to Bob, this movie surprisingly was produced by Elizabeth Banks.
Yes, produced and directed by actress Elizabeth Banks.
Which surprised me because she does not look like the type to want to do this type of film. When I saw her name sprayed on there, I was like, that can't be the same Elizabeth Banks I know. Which
are you saying she's too pretty to find Cocaine Bear funny, Matt? Is that your position?
Okay, Bob. Yes, Bob, you've trapped me in a corner. Yes. She looks more like the type that would be like doing, like, I don't know, some other type of film, more like a romantic comedy or something. But, maybe.
I think she does kind of have an affection for like trash 70s and 80s culture, because she also directed the recent Charlie's Angels, which I didn't see, but apparently some people liked it. She
would be a really cool person to hang out with, I think. And that just shows based on her, like her whole, like, everything she's been in. So to give you an idea of Elizabeth Banks, in case you're not familiar with her, she was the voice of Wildside in the Lego Movie, which if you've seen the Lego movies, you know who Wildside is, main character. She was the mom in Brightburn, which I brought up in a previous podcast. That's the Superman movie, the horror Superman movie where he like is a kid who develops the powers, but then immediately starts burning people up with his heat vision.
Okay, yeah.
She was Rita Repulsa in the failed Power Rangers movie reboot in like 2017, 18, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
She played she was one of the newscasters in the Pitch Perfect films. She had a really funny role there. But most importantly, Bob, she hosts Pressure Luck, the first couple of seasons of that, which is a really good game show. It's a game show with the whammies. Remember the little red things that would like take your money if you hit one? Like you'd have a board and the little box would go around the board. And you'd have to stop it on something, and if you stopped it on a whammy, you lost all your money.
No idea what you're talking about, but I'm glad you had a good description for our listeners.
Damn, Bob. Pressure Luck, good show. Anyway, it's a remake of an older like game show from the late 80s, or maybe even late 70s. I don't know.
Huh. I mean, again, that would fit in. Like a lot of her stuff seems kind of more nostalgia oriented, although that also just is the movie industry.
Maybe Elizabeth Banks is living in the 80s like we're living in the 90s.
Yeah. So speaking of good shows, Matt, did you watch The Americans on FX?
I did not, Bob. Is it on Hulu?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, most FX stuff is on Hulu, but not all FX stuff.
I think I've seen it like on there. Yeah.
It's really worth watching, man. It's one of the best shows of the last decade. It's not. It never like fully makes the leap from good to great, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like it has great moments, but I can never call the show itself like great. But it's still a very good show.
No crazy cliffhanger in season 1, Bob. Is that the problem? That's what makes shows great, right?
The way they tend to structure the seasons, as I remember, was kind of a problem, and it was one of those shows that maybe went on a little too long.
Yeah,
but
that's most shows.
Yeah, but it's a really good show, and three of the most prominent actors from that show, which is also set in the '80s, like Cocaine Bear, are in Cocaine Bear. So Matthew Rhys is the male lead. He's the cocaine smuggler in the opener of Cocaine Bear, who accidentally knocks himself out and dies in a fall from his plane.
Yeah,
and then Carrie Russell is the other mama bear, the nurse who's looking for her daughter through most of the movie. She's the female lead in The Americans, and she's great in The Americans. It's one of her best roles. And then the great Margot Martindale, who plays the horny park ranger. She's a great character in The Americans. She's the handler of Matthew Rhys and Carrie Russell for not all of the show, but for parts of the show.
So, Bob, at the beginning of this film, when Matthew Rhys's character is throwing all the cocaine out into the forest and then bumps his head as he's about to exit the plane, is that like the worst possible death you could experience?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like a pretty fun, like it seems like he was having fun. He was having a good time. He definitely, it seemed, had been sampling some of the product, and he was probably unconscious when he actually died. So no, that seems like a pretty good death, man.
I think you're right. Yeah. Now that I think about it, it's not that bad. I guess it's just more like unfortunate more than anything. Is that the most unfortunate death you think you've witnessed? Yeah. I mean, but I think when you start sampling the product, you understand you're taking risk. Like that's a part of it. So another actor in this movie is we've got good old Alden Ehrenreich, who here plays the grieving drug dealer Eddie, who is sent by his dad to go secure the cocaine that Matthew Rhys threw out into the forest. And a couple friends and I have kind of come around to think that like Alden Ehrenreich is like a really great actor, and it seems like his entire career was just derailed by Solo, which is kind of a shame because he was good in that. It wasn't his fault that it was kind of a meh movie. Yeah, it's really a Harrison Ford thing. Solo falls in that same boat as the Indiana Jones Chronicles or whatever, the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. It's just completely forgettable, like borderline cringe, and I think he's associated with it so much that it just tanked his career.
I don't know. I mean, I remember the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles fondly. I'm not sure if I remember it fondly enough to actually watch it, but I remember it fondly.
and trust me, that I don't think they ever refer to it in anything. So it's not like it's not really canon per se. I think maybe it is. I don't know. I will say, if you want to see a really good Alden Ehrenreich performance, he plays a cowboy in that great Coen Brothers movie from a few years back, Hail Caesar. I highly recommend that. And then another actor. So we have O'Shea Jackson plays Eddie's colleague, the drug dealer David, also sent to go get the cocaine. Did he remind you of anyone, Matt? Yeah, he looks like Ice Cube, which is his dad, apparently.
Yeah. We were pretty blown away. We were pretty blown away because like one of my friends was like, "Oh, he kind of looks like Ice Cube," and then we called them racist.
And then you looked it up, and you're like, "Oh, it's nepotism."
Although I will say, like, nepotism is definitely a thing, but I mean, it's also just a thing that people do tend to stay in the same career as their parents, Yeah,
unfortunately, yes.
I just mean broadly. No, I just mean broadly. Like, if your dad's like a carpenter, it's not certain that you're going to be a carpenter, but there's like a good chance you're going to be a carpenter.
That's true.
Like, so,
but is it nepotism because that's just what they're able to get you into? They frequent those circles of people, so you frequent them as well as their child, and then you end up getting into that career.
No, I don't think so. I mean, in acting, yes, obviously. Yeah. But like you're both your parents are teachers and you're a teacher.
And I was around teachers like all the time.
Yeah, but it's not because like your parents like gave you the cheat code to become a teacher. Like my mother and my grandmother are a teacher, and we're teachers, and I'm a different kind of teacher. Again, not out of like nepotism. It's not nepotism, but I did see that they were able to survive by being a teacher. So I thought, okay, I'll just do what they did. What I mean? No, I think it's a combination of both like what you're genetically predisposed to do because of your parents and also because of the environment. Like, but yes. I'm just saying, like,
I was not predisposed to be an athlete is what you're trying to say.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. And so I don't know, like, yeah, it is a little annoying that we live in an unequal society and that, there's a lot of untalented children out there in Hollywood. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think you can just say it's nepotism. I also think there's an element of people do tend to do what their parents did.
I agree. And I have to say this too, Bob. Ice Cube Jr. is not he's a decent actor.
Yeah. I thought he was one of the better parts of the movie. Not the best part by far, but one of the better parts of the movie. And
another actor here, Bob. Go ahead.
You go.
Oh yeah, another actor, Bob. We had was Isaiah Whitlock Jr. as Detective Bob, and he was pretty good. He gave me like I got Danny Glover vibes from him.
Yeah, fed up cop vibes. Yeah,
but at the same time, I don't want you to call me a racist because I think
I thought about going there, but I decided to just validate the actual point you were making rather than misrepresenting you. He's great, man. Isaiah Whitlock Jr. is in a lot of Spike Lee stuff. He tends to be like a character actor who shows up in a lot of Spike Lee stuff. But my two favorite roles of his are on The Wire. He plays a crooked senator, where he famously says shit, and he also plays Donald Glover's dad on Atlanta, which is not a pretty small role, but it's a great role.
Yeah.
So Matt, we already sort of touched on this, but did Cocaine Bear make you proud to be a Georgian?
Yeah, I immediately Google mapped like how far the forest was away, so that maybe one day I can go try to find that lost cocaine and turn it to the cops.
Oh, that's what you're gonna do with it. Okay.
I'm not gonna sell it. I mean, maybe I would. This was in 1985, Bob. That cocaine's long gone, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you pack it securely to ship. I also don't know.
You think it's just hanging from a tree somewhere though, like it was in the movie? Just like there's just cocaine out there, no one's found.
I assume it's like been just fallen and buried by leaves.
Okay, so you think it's underneath like the earth somewhere, like buried, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's, I mean, 38 years. That's a long time.
Yeah. Also, I don't know what the half-life of cocaine is. I mean, it doesn't seem like cocaine would go bad, but I can't say that I know that for sure. So that's a kind of interesting question as well.
Yeah.
So Matt, were you surprised that the Cocaine Bear in the big twist of the movie, spoilers for people who haven't seen it, were you surprised that the Cocaine Bear turned out to be both female and a mother?
This was not a twist. No, I didn't think that at all. I didn't really how was that a twist?
Because it's not revealed till much later in the movie, and it's.
But was it that important though? To you that there were little cubs on cocaine too?
As one of the best tweets about the movie I saw said, it was somebody tweeting, when I find out that Cocaine Bear is a woman, and then it was a gif of some network daytime talk show host saying women's stories are so important.
No, I did not get that. Did not come across at all. I just thought, there's more bears on cocaine. That's all I thought when I saw the baby bears.
All I'm saying is that Twitter and I think my friends and I all thought it was an important twist.
I thought all I could think about was, damn, this is like some Goldilocks shit at this point. We're gonna have like a whole family of cocaine bears.
Yes.
And this little girl, girl is hanging out in their house. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
We did have the Goldilocks cocaine bear story, and
it just had Ray Liotta with a fucking sharpshooter or whatever. Taking out the bears to save Goldilocks, or really to save the cocaine.
Indeed.
Wait, was the cocaine the porridge, Bob?
This is all making sense now. Yeah. See, it's a tale as old as time. Cocaine Bear, aka Goldilocks. So, Matt, another serious question, and I'm talking here now about both the Cocaine Bear and about Kerry Russell.
Yeah.
Do you think this movie pushes an unrealistic, unachievable standard for motherhood?
I mean, that you tell your kid, like, not right now, before you go to work on a night shift, about the whole going to the waterfall thing. Like the kid wanted so bad to go to the waterfall and see this shit and paint it, and then the mom's like, not right now. We're gonna go out on a date and see a movie later. Is that okay? The kid's like, no. And they skip school with their like creepy little friend who knows way too much for his age. And this obviously wasn't the first time they've snuck out at some point to go, skip school.
You're really hating on was it Henry? I think
Henry,
Henry.
Yeah. We'll talk about Henry later, but then they travel by bike to this waterfall, and then you find out the waterfall is being guarded by a cocaine-fueled bear. It's just, I don't see how you could be like, I don't know how you could meet that standard of motherhood, Bob. How are you going to protect your kids from that? I mean, the kid's a little ass is what it boils down to.
I'm just saying, Carrie Russell saves her child and her child's friend from not just the cocaine bear, but also from noted gangster Ray Liotta. So yeah. I'm just saying that's a lot to ask of mothers. And the cocaine bear, she brings a lot of cocaine to her cubs. Also, I'm saying these are high standards that I don't think it's always fair to impose on all mothers. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, once you get your kids addicted to cocaine, guys, you got to keep providing it for them. You can't just expect them to go find it on their own.
Exactly. So, Matt, as we mentioned, we have good old Ray Liotta here. This is one of his final movies. It was released posthumously. R.I.P. Ray Liotta, one of the greats. You got a favorite Ray Liotta movie to share with the listeners?
Bob, I'm basic, so I'm just going to say Goodfellas. That's what it boils down to.
There's nothing wrong with that choice. Goodfellas is amazing. I was kind of hoping you would go Operation Dumbo Drop because I know you love Dennis Leary.
No.
I'm gonna say, as great as Goodfellas is, I'm gonna say Narc, a movie where Ray Liotta is a dirty cop. It's a really good movie.
No, I don't think I've seen Narc, but I probably need to.
Yeah, it's one of Joe Carnahan's good movies. He's got some bad ones and he's got some good ones, and I would say Narc is one of the good ones.
Ray Liotta is one of those guys. He'll just show up in random shit you're watching, and you're like, "Who is that guy? I know him. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's Ray Liotta under that makeup, or oh, that's Ray Liotta under that wig." Like he's one of those dudes.
Yeah. He gets around. Around. So Matt, who was your favorite major character or your favorite performance in this movie?
I'd say O'Shea Jr. Really set an uneven tone for this that made the movie fun. It was funny, but it was serious at times too. And he was able to go through all those different things and make it.
Yeah. He kind of oscillates between that crazy fight scene in the bathroom and annoyance at his friend, but also I'm going to get the cocaine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's at certain points, he's like, okay, this shit's real. There's a bear, and I probably need to shoot it. He was one of the only characters that decided that was a good idea,
Yeah. I'll definitely give it to Margot Martindale. Very, very funny performance. I feel bad because so many of Margot Martindale's performances do seem to just center around how old and large she is. But, it was still a very funny performance.
Oh, her death is absolutely horrifying in this too. So, if you do decide to watch this, be on the lookout for that. And you'll think she's died multiple times, but no, the final death.
The last death
is just painful to look at. And there's a lot of gory shit in this film.
So
this isn't that favorite? Gory. It's just scary because you would think that's not a way I would ever want to die.
Yeah. So who is your favorite minor character performance this movie, Matt?
So like I said earlier, Bob, I was going to talk a little bit about Henry. I'm going to go with Henry, or the kid who played Henry, because his acting reminded me how fucking stupid this movie is, but it's so hard to take your eyes off the screen. Henry has some good lines, and I'm not dogging the kid, but it's like they told him hey, you got to have a country accent. You're from Georgia, you're a hick. And he just sounded so bad. And it got on my nerves.
I thought it was great.
My wife was in the room while I was watching this film, and that's the only time she ever piped in was when that kid came on, and she just repeat what he said in the most southern accent possible.
I mean, you've definitely heard kids talk like that, though. I mean, that's the thing.
I have, but it's I don't know. It just sounded it was rough.
That would bring me to my favorite line of the movie, which I think was, "That was so messed up. That little man was an expert on bears, but he didn't know that the bear was a cocaine bear."
My favorite line from that little kid was My favorite line of the little kid was, "Bears can't climb trees."
Of course they can.
As the bear fucking proceeds to climb the tree and try to kill him. Which leads to my favorite attack, honestly, which was when the bear's climbing the tree to get Henry, but then smells the cocaine on Peter in like the adjacent tree.
Leaps.
And like freaking like darts across to jump to the other tree. It was crazy. And then hangs him upside down by his entrails. It's really, really nasty.
Nice. Yeah, for my favorite like attack scene, or I would just have to say I love the fact that the cocaine sometimes makes the bear invisible.
Yeah.
That was nice. I didn't know cocaine did that, but it's great.
Apparently, cocaine will make you feel invisible, Bob.
No, not make you feel invisible. Literally make you invisible. You're literally invisible, like the bear was. Yeah. So Matt.
The grossest attack though, Bob. That was attack I enjoyed. The grossest thing though in this film is when Ray Liotta's character, I guess spoilers, he ends up getting his guts pulled out by the baby cubs.
Yeah.
And he's still alive. Oh God. Like I almost tapped out, Bob. That was bad.
You texted me complaining about that scene, and I just accused you of moral weakness.
Yeah, when I realized there were like 5 minutes left in the film, like there's only so much more they can do here. I mean, what else are they going to do? Have them like play jump rope with the guts? So I'll just like.
Matt. So other than the Ray Liotta being disemboweled by baby cubs, any regrets about this movie?
This was actually a fun movie. I mean, this is something you just watch to just have something stupid that you don't have to pay that close attention to it to keep up with what's going on. But there will be things that will make you like glue your eyes to the TV to see this bear. I think is completely CGI, right?
I would assume. Yeah,
it doesn't look great, but I don't care because it's a stupid, fun movie. and the dumb subplots it just makes it even better. If you want something dumb to watch this. You'll enjoy it.
So Matt, when they make the sequel, do you want it to be called Cocaine Bear 2? Do you want it to be called Cocaine Sheep, Cocaine Dog, or Sleuth of Cocaine Bears?
I want them to do either Cocaine Dog or Cocaine Cat.
Okay, that's fair.
I would love to watch like a cocaine cat film where like a cat lady accidentally gets some cocaine or something. Like all the cats in the house like are on cocaine. And to feed their addiction, they like attack everyone that comes to the door to try to get more.
Nice. So obviously this movie's a kind of fun twist on a great, minor but great standby horror genre, the nature attacks genre. What would you say your favorite nature attacks movie is, Matt?
Okay, Bob, movies I've actually seen, I'd say Lake Placid, which I don't know if you're familiar with. It's like alligator or crocodile. It's either alligator or crocodile in a lake. Okay. It's just a fun film.
Did that come out in the 90s?
Yeah, it was the late 90s.
I think I vaguely remember a trailer for it now that you mention it.
The only reason I remember it is because we went on a Boy Scout trip and all the dads, I was by myself because like my parents never went on these trips with me. And I was not prepared for this trip at all because I didn't know it was going to be like freezing fucking cold. But anyway, all the dads that did go, they brought these like generators so they could watch TV.
Nice.
In the back of their truck, that is a giant ass screen, like bigger than a TV I'd ever owned at that point. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's like Boy Scouts was not what you think it is with these dudes. This was like they were just getting away from their wives.
Yeah, totally.
So anyway, we all sat around and watched Lake Placid out in the woods.
That seems like the appropriate setting for that movie. Yeah.
It was weird. The other movie I'd say about was Snakes on a Plane, of course. Everybody, that's just the go-to for most people.
Yeah, that would be the natural comparison to Cocaine Bear. Honestly, I have to say, like, I enjoyed Snakes on a Plane, but I'd have to say Cocaine's better than Snakes on a Plane.
Oh yeah, by a long shot. So there's nothing that memorable in Snakes on a Plane. It's just the title is so catchy, and everybody hates snakes. So
yeah, except for the memorable line from Samuel L. Jackson, "I'm tired of all these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Let's open up some windows."
You got it. That's about it. One movie though, Bob, that I've never seen but has that fits into this is called Eight-Legged Freaks. And the only
So that's a spider movie, I assume?
yeah, the only reason I'm aware of this film is because I went to Blockbuster when it was right at the peak, when Blockbuster was right at like the peak of how like they were just greedy and like they would charge you like $20 for late fees, like, oh, you know, like every like you're a day late, you know, you're gonna have this incredibly ridiculous charge, and every movie and game was like $10 to rent, like right at the end, just before Netflix hit, like they were at their worst. And then once Netflix hit with that delivery model, I think we were in like college, you know, because I remember you getting all the DVDs in the mail.
Yeah, yeah.
For those of you who don't know this, Netflix used to be a delivery service for DVDs.
They just discontinued that part of the business too.
It only took 20 years, but I mean, it's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's how Netflix started. So it was very odd that I go to check out this film. They would not let me rent it without my parents' present, Bob. I drove to the Blockbuster. It was PG-13. I never went back to Blockbuster again, Bob. And then ever.
Did you like try to show them your driver's license?
They didn't care because the account said like the account was my parents. And they were like, yeah, this, we don't know if this is really you or not, if this is your card. Like, it's so stupid.
Oh, so it was more an identity thing than an age thing.
Yeah, now that you've made me think it through, Bob, that's what it was.
Okay.
But I was a 16-year-old, Bob, and you saw me at 16. You know what I look like. I was obviously like, you know, it was a kid going to get a movie.
No, I'm not like, no, fuck Blockbuster. They were terrible.
Yeah, they're awful. But yeah, now that you think about it, that probably is why. But at the same time, you know, give me the damn movie. They know, you know, they've rented plenty of other things.
Yeah. No, silly Blockbuster. I guess for my favorite Nature Attacks movie, I would, if I was going arty, there's a really funny, or not funny, but really interesting, like arty 70s sci-fi movie about ants called Phase 4 that it's worth watching. But if I was more going schlocky and fun, I would go Deep Blue Sea, that late 90s shark movie. Really does seem like the 90s was the decade for Nature Attacks movies, since so many of our examples come from there.
It was the dawn of CGI.
It was the dawn of CGI.
And it was a lot easier to CGI animals than it was people.
That's true. Especially when those animals are on cocaine that gives them invisibility powers.
Well, no, Bob, we had to get all the way to 2023 to get the cocaine-fueled CGI animals.
I know.
They were much calmer back in the day. Just naturally evil.
Did you ever see Anaconda?
Yes. I have a horrible fear of snakes. So I can't even watch if I watch anything with a snake in it before I go to bed.
You can handle snakes on a plane, but not Anaconda.
No, Bob, I can handle Anaconda. I can watch these films, and saying I can handle an Anaconda sounds like a horrible thing to say out loud. But
yes.
But if I see a snake during the day, I will have a horrible dream about a snake that night. Especially if I watch something right before bed with a snake in it. But yeah, I hate snakes. So, yeah, but I've seen Anaconda. It scared the fuck out of me. But now that I've gone back and seen it as an adult, just kind of like in trailers and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this movie, like, I don't know why I wasn't scared of that. It's not really. They don't look like snakes. They look like
you've processed your Anaconda trauma, Matt. Is that what you're telling her?
Well, they just look bad. The snake looks bad in that film. It just looks, it doesn't look like an actual snake. But for that time period, maybe it probably scared the hell out of me.
But for that time period, it was more real than any other snake ever had been.
Oh yeah, it was freaky. I remember the commercials for that movie, like when it first came out in theaters, and it scared the hell out of me. I thought, it was kind of like Predator. That's what it reminded me of. It had the same vibes as Predator.
It really did. In some ways, probably just a loose remake of Predator, which is an amazing movie. But yeah. All right. Well, this has been our coverage of Cocaine Bear. Hope our listeners enjoyed it. Check us out for other special episodes on comics and movies as we take it easy while we wait for Star Trek Strange New Worlds to return. I am Bob in Cascadia. That is Matt in the Southland. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks for listening.